Ever found yourself staring at a Monzo notification, a purchase you regret, or a subscription you forgot to cancel, and thought, "Can I actually get my money back?" If so, you've hit upon one of the most common, yet often misunderstood, aspects of modern banking: refunds. And with Monzo, the process, while generally straightforward, has its own nuances, tips, and tricks that can make all the difference between getting your money back and feeling stuck. We've all been there. That impulsive online buy that looked great in the ad but arrived looking less than stellar. The restaurant bill where you were double charged, or perhaps even worse, a fraudulent transaction that makes your stomach drop. In traditional banking, these scenarios often involve lengthy phone calls, mountains of paperwork, and a feeling of battling against an invisible bureaucracy. But Monzo, with its app-first approach and user-centered design, aims to simplify much of this. Yet, simple doesn't always mean obvious. There's a strategy to maximizing your chances of a successful refund, understanding your rights, and knowing when and how to escalate an issue. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of Monzo refunds, let's set the stage with a quick understanding of why refunds exist in the first place and the different types you might encounter. Essentially, a refund is a repayment of money to a customer, typically because a product or service was unsatisfactory, was not delivered, or was an unauthorized transaction. There are broadly two categories of refunds you'll deal with: merchant refunds and chargebacks. A merchant refund is when the business you paid directly agrees to return your money. This is the simplest and most common form of refund. You bought something, it wasn't right, you returned it, and they processed the refund. This often happens quickly, sometimes within a few days, and the money usually appears back in your Monzo account with a clear description from the merchant. This is always your first port of call. If a merchant is willing to refund you, that's the path of least resistance. Then there are chargebacks. This is where things get a bit more complex, and it's Monzo's role as your bank that becomes crucial. A chargeback is a reversal of a payment made by a bank at the request of the cardholder. It's essentially a dispute filed with your bank against a transaction. This happens when you can't get a refund directly from the merchant, or if the merchant is unresponsive, goes out of business, or if the transaction was fraudulent. Chargebacks are governed by rules set by card schemes like MasterCard, which Monzo uses. They exist to protect consumers from unfair or unauthorized charges. Understanding when to pursue a chargeback and what information you need is key to success. So, with that foundational knowledge, let's unpack how to get refunds specifically through Monzo. We'll start with the easiest scenarios and move towards the more challenging ones. Scenario 1, the standard merchant refund, the easiest. This is the dream scenario. You bought something, you returned it, and the merchant is processing your refund. What to do? Honestly, not much on your end within the Monzo app. Once the merchant processes the refund, it will usually appear in your Monzo account within 3 to 5 business days, sometimes sooner. You'll see a notification from Monzo and the transaction will appear in your feed as a positive balance. Key tip: keep an eye on your Monzo feed. If the refund doesn't appear within the time frame the merchant specified, that's when you might need to take action. Also, always get a refund receipt or confirmation from the merchant. This is your proof. Scenario 2, the missing merchant refund, still fairly easy, but requires action. You've returned an item, the merchant said they've processed the refund, but it hasn't landed in your Monzo account after the expected time frame. What to do? Contact the merchant first, always. This is absolutely crucial. Before you even think about involving Monzo, reach out to the merchant. Provide them with your transaction details, the date of return, and any refund reference numbers they gave you. Ask for proof that the refund has been processed, such as an ARN, acquirer reference number, or a processing ID. Sometimes, there's just a delay on their end, or they might have made a mistake. Wait a little longer. Even if they say it's processed, give it another 1 to 2 business days. Banking systems can have slight delays. If still no refund, contact Monzo support. Open your Monzo app. Navigate to the transaction in question. Scroll down and tap something wrong? Get help. Explain the situation clearly. State that you've already contacted the merchant, provide the date you contacted them, and any information they gave you, like an ARN. Monzo support will likely ask for more details and may initiate an investigation with the merchant's bank. Key tip: documentation is your best friend. Keep screenshots of conversations with the merchant, emails confirming your return, and any reference numbers. This will significantly speed up the process with Monzo. Scenario 3: the incorrect or partial refund. You received a refund, but it's not the full amount you were expecting, or it's for the wrong item. What to do? Contact the merchant immediately. This is an error on their part. Explain the discrepancy clearly, providing all relevant details like original purchase amount, refund amount, and what you believe the refund should have been. If unresolved, contact Monzo support. If the merchant is uncooperative or unresponsive after you've made a reasonable attempt to resolve it, then reach out to Monzo. Explain that you received a partial or incorrect refund and that you've tried to resolve it with the merchant. Monzo can then advise on whether a chargeback is appropriate for the outstanding amount. Key tip: compare your original receipt or order confirmation meticulously with the refund details. Highlight the discrepancy clearly when communicating with both the merchant and Monzo. Scenario 4: unauthorized or fraudulent transactions, the most urgent. This is where your money has been taken without your permission. This could be a scam, a stolen card, or a compromised account. What to do? Act immediately. Freeze your card. In the Monzo app, go to your card settings and immediately freeze your card. This prevents any further unauthorized transactions. Contact Monzo support via the app. Go to the unauthorized transaction in your feed. Tap something wrong? Get help. Select I don't recognize this transaction or this was an unauthorized payment. Provide as much detail as possible. When did you notice it? Did you share your card details recently? Have you clicked on any suspicious links? Review other transactions. While waiting for Monzo's response, carefully review your entire transaction history for any other suspicious activity. Consider reporting to police. If applicable for significant fraud, Monzo may advise you to report it to the police or Action Fraud in the UK. This creates an official record that can be crucial for investigations and recovery. Key tip: speed is of the essence with fraudulent transactions. The quicker you report it to Monzo and freeze your card, the higher the chance of recovering your funds and preventing further loss. Monzo has dedicated fraud teams that are highly skilled in dealing with these situations. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.